Three, two, one. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to a surprise Facebook Live. Well, not a surprise because we started advertising for this weeks ago, but you're not used to Facebook Lives on Saturday, but today you get one on a Saturday. We are super privileged to have Matt from Brōterra here talking about dōTERRA and men. And I know most of you guys probably follow his page. He's got a hugely successful Facebook page. It's just chock full of really good content, and the branding's awesome. So we're really excited to be here. And Matt, if I understand right, your wife started dōTERRA, right?
Yes.
And then you were looking for how to support her?
Yes.
And that's how this all started. Okay, cool. Well, we're going to give everyone just a few seconds to hop on the live here. I can see people are popping on now. Good to see you guys. Can someone just give me a thumbs up? Can you hear and see both of us okay? On my computer, it looks just a teeny bit glitchy. So I just want to make sure that you're good to go, that you can see everything the way that you want to see us. So waiting for someone to say, yes, I can see you and I can hear you okay.
Can you see me okay as well? No glitches or anything?
No, you look good to me. Okay, so we're getting thumbs up. So we're good to go. Well, seriously, Matt, thanks for stepping out of your family reunion, taking some time to be with us here. Taro says hello. Hi, Taro. Good to see you. And by the way, since we're celebrating men today in dōTERRA, you guys all got this, right? The Amavi men's blend. You have yours right there too.
Did I keep this with me? This is what I've been with me for the last week and a half, 2 weeks now.
What do you think about it?
My cologne with me. Now I got this with me, and I've been going back and forth between the two. I love this. It's like a cedar wood or like a sawdust smell.
Yeah, the Buddha wood, so good. We got 2 of them just for kicks, and I messaged Jeffrey and I said, "Kay, you need to order me at least 4 more. I have to have more of this. It's so good."
Oh yeah, the balance bar is almost gone already at my house.
Yeah, and I don't even I've never used like bar soap before, but that's awesome.
Oh yeah.
It's I think mostly like the because the other soaps we have are they're a little bit soft, like like lavender smell or serenity smell. Like I'm never gonna use that, but like.
Well, real quick, thank you so much for having me on. But also tomorrow is Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to everybody. Thank you again, Andrew, for having me on, and happy Father's Day, guys.
Well, we've got people loaded on. Happy Father's Day to you too. So let's hop into this, Matt. So first of all, I know that most of the people that are going to be watching this Facebook Lives are going to be women who either have a man in their own life and they're wondering what role could or should the man play in my dōTERRA experience, or maybe even if you don't have a male partner yourself, you might be someone who you probably have women on your team or men on your team, someone who has a spouse and you're just wondering, should my partner be involved in this? But tell us a little bit about your story. Your wife started dōTERRA and tell us what happened.
Okay. My wife, she's a registered nurse. She went into nursing years ago because she wanted to help people. At the time, she had no idea what these natural products were, essential oils and things like that. She was just trained to give the shots and do the medicines and things like that. There was a point a couple years back when we started with dōTERRA where I was one of those guys that I just saw the dollar sign and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so expensive. And I was skeptical. And, since my oil experience, I hear all these men talking and I was the same way. I was skeptical. I called them voodoo oil. I called them, snake oils. I've heard unicorn tears. I never heard that before. So, I mean, the funny stuff, but I was skeptical until I had my own oil experience. And then it's like, for me, it was like, maybe there is something to this.
You mind telling us what it was, your oil experience?
I ate something that didn't agree with me and I tried Digestin. And guys, if there's guys are watching right now, you have bellies too, just like your wives, like the ladies. We have bellies. Men have bellies, women have bellies. Digestin works on our belly the same as it does for a lady. We have heads just like women have heads. Past tense works great on your head discomfort if you have any sort of, head discomfort. So those were like my head and my belly. I would always keep stuff with me in my lunch pail at work. Now, this is what I keep with me in my lunch pail at work.
All the women on this Facebook Live wish that their man carried that in the lunch pail.
Well, I will say this. I mean, I don't want everybody to think, I don't want all the men to think, oh, you got to have you don't have to do that. I started with the little keychain drams and I went like which oils I like the smell of. I like cedarwood. I put it in my beard. I like the frankincense and I put that in my beard. I kept past tense with me for my head. I kept digestin with me for my belly. I kept TerraShield with me for, when you're out there getting eaten up by the bugs. So you can start with just those little sample drams. For Christmas, wanted the touch kit because it's already pre-diluted. It's got the fractionated coconut oil. I'm on the go constantly. They got those nice stainless steel roller balls, and you just roll it on and you put the cap back on and put it back away. It's not the sample dram where you got to drip it on your finger and that's what I wanted to do. Not all the men have to do that, but I would just encourage men. So my wife was just like all the ladies. They're the ones in the house that are always looking out for the best interests for the children and for their husbands. My wife's always encouraging me to eat better and exercise. And she's always been the mama bears out there. Those are the ones that they're always going to try to find something that's going to help their family. And for some, I don't know why, but for some, and I was this way, men just see the dollar sign. They don't see it the same way. But I would just encourage you, if your wives are trying to get you into oils, just try a couple, just try it. And God forbid you have a great experience with it. And you're like, wait a second, my wife wasn't Looney Tune,
Well, I love what you just said, because it's really you have to have the experience. It's the difference between like trying oils, trying to get your husband or your boyfriend or whoever to use oils versus giving them an experience. And you had the experience, and so
Right.
then it makes sense to have more positive experiences, right?
Right. Yep, exactly.
So how'd you go from using the product and liking the oils to what you're doing now with business?
Well, okay. So I was a user for a while, and my wife and I, our goal was to like I said, she wanted the nursing to help people. I always liked to help people, but I just didn't know which way to go about doing it until she kind of redirected me. I was like, you know what? This stuff is great. It's natural. dōTERRA is an awesome company. I mean, I don't know nearly as much as some of the people probably watching right now about dōTERRA. I've never met Dave Sterling and all those higher ups, but you can see their heart in the videos that they put out. You can see their heart in the company and just the Healing Hands Foundation, all that stuff. So I was redirected toward dōTERRA because we were just using it. I was like, you know what? If it's working great for my family, why wouldn't I want to tell my friends and family about the stuff too? And then we started looking into business and things like that. Well, there's other Brōterra pages out there, but I started my Brōterra Men page for the men, to support the men on my team, for my wife and I's team. And a really good friend of mine, one of my uplines, came into town last year, and she saw the page and she says, can we use this for our upline and downline? This is awesome. There's a huge void for men in dōTERRA. Like I said, I think it's because of the price. I think because men are skeptical. I was both of those things. But anyway, so she said that to me. I said, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. I'll open it up to everybody on our team. And then it morphed from there. And I said, you know what? It's an open page. Let me just open up to everybody. So I started sending messages to men that I knew in dōTERRA. And Andrew, you've been awesome. You've already done 2 awesome videos for me on DDR Prime. I appreciate you doing that. And TerraZyme. And I started asking men, hey, you want to do a minute or 2 long video? Just what's your favorite oil? What's your favorite dōTERRA product? And then they started sending me videos, and then I just started posting once a week or twice a week. And wouldn't you know it, there's a lot of men and a lot of ladies that are trying to get their men on board. And this page, that's why it's blown up so much. I appreciate every single person that's already a part of our page. I appreciate all the men that have sent us videos, because it is uncomfortable sometimes to get on video. But I just want to help as many men across as many dōTERRA teams as possible. That's my goal. And a lot of the men that I've met through dōTERRA, we're all the same. We want to help other men, because I went to a wellness summit in Indianapolis last weekend, and there was like not even a third of them were men there, but they all came up and we were all just talking about guys and how we use our oils and stuff. And I know that might sound weird to some of the guys that might be watching, but dude, we all have the same, chemistry, body type. We all can use the oils, and we can all benefit from it. So it's just kind of cool. We're like fist bumping last week, bros and stuff, but I'm just having a good time with it. I enjoy all the messages I get from the ladies they're saying, you know, you helped my husband because he was skeptical. He was dealing with an issue. I get private messages all the time from men. Hey man, thank you so much for doing this page. I thought I was alone. And you know what? There are thousands of teams out there, thousands of teams. And there's 5 or 6 men on each of those teams, and they all feel isolated. But when there's 5 or 6 of those men on thousands of teams converging, we've got over 12,000 followers on our page now.
And it's awesome. Everyone has such a good time there too.
Yeah. I try to make things fun and exciting and relevant. Like, I don't know, you've probably seen, I know you saw my Thanos post when Avengers came out. But I got to look at the gauntlet. I'm like, man, those gems are all the same color as the emotional kit. Perfect. I try to make things fun, exciting, eye-catching, but also relevant and informative. You know what I mean? So I try to have a good time with it. I get a lot of ideas from people, but most of it comes right from here because I like to watch movies, I like the comic books, and I'm just a big kid myself.
Okay, so let's run with this topic a little bit then. So
Okay.
now that you've converged into the business world, how do you and your wife figure out, like, how do you divvy up business tasks? Do you each play specific roles in your business?
Well, I'll be honest. My wife is the rock star. She's rocking it, and I'm doing the social media part of it. She has her own page as well, but there are thousands and thousands of female-based pages out there, but there's only a handful of men pages out there. So that's why mine has done so well. Not patting myself on the back, but it's because of everybody that shared the content that there's so many men out there that don't have any support. So that's the reason that my page is taken off. My wife does some social media stuff as well. We obviously have our closed groups that we do with our team and stuff. She's the rock star that's rocking the business. And I've had enrollments from my page from men that want to join us. And I'm thankful for all of those. But as far as the business side, I'm like my wife has gone to convention the last couple of years, and I'm the babysitter. I know there's a lot of men watching right now that their wives get to go to convention because they have to be the babysitter for the kiddos at home. That's me, except for this year I get to go to convention. I'm excited about that. But like any sort of close event that's within driving range, I try to go with my wife. We're based here in Cincinnati, Ohio, in the Queen City, so I can't exactly just drive to Salt Lake. But we try to rock whatever we can around our area, like regional summits and wellness summit stuff. I try to go with her to those. And that's what I would encourage the men too. If their wife is trying to rock the business, go to these live events and you'll see other people and just face to face. I think that's the best thing about dōTERRA is when you get face to face with somebody and you see that it's worked for them. I think that's when it's like, you know what, you know, I don't mean this in a negative way, but it's like, I don't even know if I should say this, but it's like, you know, they can do it. I can do it. Right. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but it's like, you know, if they can do it, I can do it. But I have so many friends and family that could use this stuff. You know, we all have family members and friends that we know the cabinet in their bathroom, all the pills and stuff they're taking. And I'm not saying that our doctors we aren't still supposed to go to our doctors, but you go, like, you visit your friend, you open up their cabinet, you're like, oh my goodness, all this stuff you're putting in your body. And then you let them use a couple of your oils, and then wait a second, this worked for me. Wouldn't you want to help your friends and family? Wouldn't you want to spread the good news? That's the way I try to look at it anyways.
Well, I think that the attitude that you're sharing here is like that's what we'd expect all the women in the company to do. Like, why would we assume men would be any different,
Right.
right?
Well,
So
I learned from you and a lot of other doTERRists, we call ourselves doTERRists, that a rising tide raises all ships. And that's what I said with my page. I'm like, you know what? I want to help as many men across as many doTERRA teams as possible. I'm not trying to take any men from anybody's teams. I tell when ladies message me, I'm like, just keep telling your men that we're here. I will help you to support them. They're on your team. I want to help you support them. And we've gotten a lot of messages and thumbs ups from people and because of that. So
I think people appreciate that a lot. So talk about how you found your groove, like, because I mean, some people have tried to teach oil classes for men, you know, even like I've even seen like men's hormones, or I've seen like oils and intimacy classes where, like, you know, like, I mean, men would go to that too.
right.
You've got a pretty specific groove that you're doing in doTERRA. How did that come about?
Well, honestly, I've kind of been riding on my wife's back. Like she'll do her classes and stuff. And usually, you know, if there's a guy or two there, one of our awesome builders does a sample night with the people on her team, and I try to be there for her. And some of the husbands come along too, and we just talk and support each other there. But mostly, I don't have specific men's classes yet. I'm not opposed to doing that. I just haven't done it yet. Because of the line of work that I'm in transportation, so I'm away from the house a lot. And so like I said earlier, my wife is doing great with her, you know, with our business, and I'm trying to just help support the men on our team for now. But there is some things happening in the near future where we'll be doing men classes and stuff. So I'm trying to, you know, we talked about the Facebook page, but we have the Instagram too, because I know that not everybody has Facebook, and we also have the YouTube channel. And I'm actually noticing like these ladies are messaging me, and men too, you know, hey, your YouTube videos, we're using those in our men's classes that we're teaching. So I think that's awesome, because they're not just seeing this ugly mug, they're seeing a bunch of other guys that are doing like you did the great DDR. I didn't even know what DDR Prime meant until you did that video. Thank you for doing that.
All our ugly mugs are on there.
But I mean, just you see one man's face. If you only saw my face, I'm not sure that my page would be where it is. But because you're seeing Andrew Donovan, you're seeing Kai Nix, one of my buddies, and you're seeing, you know, Freddie Kuhn and all these guys, Andrew, there's so many men that are on there now. It's like, I think that's the reason why it gains so much traction, because when men see that, they're like, oh, it's not just Matt. It's, oh, look, hey, I know that guy. I saw him at convention last year, you know? So
you guys that are on live with us, what questions would you ask? I mean, you've got somebody on here who's built some really cool social influence through social media. You got a guy on here who's like, I mean, you're like a manly man, right? Let's be honest.
you.
You got the beard.
Yeah. This is real, by the way. I don't put nothing in this except frankincense and cedarwood, sometimes arborvitae. I've been putting amave in it a lot lately, because I like that sawdust smell that they put in that Buddha wood and that balsam fir. But yeah, I get people all the time, you know, how do you get your beard so dark? I've been very blessed. I do have a couple grays that I pull, but
No, I don't.
my kids haven't turned it exactly white or gray just yet. In a couple years, maybe.
What do you guys want to ask Matt while he's on here? Like, I mean, thinking about things that, you know, where how do you want to get men more involved? I mean, and I've got a question too while we're waiting for people to ask questions. You guys, if you want to take advantage of having him on here, it's a huge privilege. So if a guy wanted to do doTERRA in a predominantly female company,
Right.
what are some ideas for how he could feel like, you know, like kind of like you're keeping your manhood while building a business in a girl company?
I think it's specific to whatever you are doing in your personal life. Are you going to the gym? If you're going to the gym, bring your deep blue rub. Let other people around you try it out on their joints and their muscles. Right? If you're a man that likes yoga, deep blue rub, you can pretty much, that covers all the bases. You could take that with
everywhere.
I mean, you take deep blue. Just have like a utility belt like Batman, and have the deep blue rub right there in the side pocket, and you're just like, hey, try the deep blue rub. And lemongrass is great for your joints and your muscles. I've had great success with that. Depending on what line of work you're in, if you talk, you know, in the break room or whatever, and maybe I've had issues with this where men have come up to me and they know that my wife and I are using essential oils. Man, I can't get any sleep. Can you help me with sleep? I'm like, you know what? I love vetiver. I brought a roller bottle of vetiver in that I made for a friend of mine at work. We all have people that we know at work that have sleep issues. Everybody wants better sleep, right? I love vetiver. My wife uses serenity and lavender, but I like vetiver. I like that, you know, that's more of a manly smell, but I also have had great success with it. I feel like I'm out. You know, I feel like when I wake up the next day, man, I got a really good night's sleep. I think it just depends on what line of work you're in. We're all incorporating these oils in our own daily routines. Your friends that you're around, you're going to be able to talk to them differently than what I could talk to them. So just use your testimonies just in conversation. If you hear somebody saying, you know, man, the seasonal threats are really kicking me this year. Oh yeah, Have you tried Tri-Ease? I've been using Tri-Ease. I love the Tri-Ease, you know? So I think if you go to the gym, that's easy. Deep blue, lemongrass. If you're doing yoga, same thing. Sleep. If you got people in marathons that are runners, that's another great one with deep blue. I play softball. Our whole bench is sponsored by Deep Blue Rub. We all smell like Deep Blue on Friday nights. So because we're all, we're a little older in age, some of us. So we're always getting, the hitch and the giddy up. We're trying to get that Deep Blue getting us back on the field. So I don't know that I answered your question, but I think it's different with everybody. Just use whatever you're in, whatever group of people you're with, just use your examples. I mean, they're your friends. They're going to, they're going to ask you questions, and just try to bring the oils into those questions. You know what I mean? Like kind of dovetail them in. It doesn't always have to be oil talk, but just try to help them with whatever situation they're going through.
This is really good. So what I hear you saying, Matt, is that if a guy's going to do dōTERRA, that doesn't mean that he does a 180 and starts teaching chakra and essential oil classes, or
Right.
or make and takes, or skincare oil classes. Like
Right.
you already have your own groove in your life, whether you're playing softball or lifting weights at the gym, or whatever it is. And oils, like the amazing thing about our product is that they apply into every lifestyle. They fit so easily to anything.
We've got, I'm looking forward to this. We've got a man that's reached out to me a few times, and he actually broke his skateboard, but he's into skateboarding huge. And I'm thinking of that because I'm seeing your hat. But he is, he's getting ready to, he says he's going to be doing a video for me very soon at the skateboard park. He likes to go skateboarding. He's like 35 years old, but he likes skateboarding, and he's, going to he's incorporated the oils with his skateboarding friends. So he's getting ready to do a video for me on that, and I'm really excited for that one. But yeah, like if you're in, I know guys that are in construction, guys in construction are dealing with discomfort in their feet because they're wearing work boots all the time. Yeah, the heat. Yeah. A little bit of peppermint on the back of your neck. It tries to cool you down a little bit. So, I mean, and like I said, you said something about skincare. Guys, we don't think about skincare like the ladies do, but that's another avenue if somebody wanted to go that route. So there's so many different things that we can incorporate this stuff in.
Okay, so flip the question now, because Amber wants to know, how should we recruit guys to join our team?
Again, are they single guys? See that, or are they married to a woman? Like, if you want to go after a guy that has a wife, go to her. Got a back door, then you're getting him too. Or if it's just a single guy, and like if you're friends with him, then just tell him whenever he's talking to you, man, I'm dealing with this right now. Oh yeah, I know. Here, try this. Just give him a sample or something, And if he has a spouse, go after her.
Honestly, I think, or you help the husband or the man have the profound experience first, and then the woman's like, wait, he would never try something like that. What's going on?
Right. Yeah. If you can go straight to the guy, and like I said earlier, I was the price point guy. I was the skeptical guy. If you can go right to the guy, you've got the family right there. Because the mom's going to be on board because she's mama bear. She wants to do things that are good for her family. My wife and I, we started out with, the Family Essentials kit, and now every one of our bathrooms has On Guard hand soap. All of our cleaning products are now On Guard. My 3-year-old daughter, she used to sneak the Crest toothpaste, and she'd be eating it somewhere. We'd find her, and we're like, oh no, what's in that? She does it still with On Guard toothpaste. We don't want her to do that, but when we catch her, we're like, at least she's boosting her immune system.
Oh my gosh.
We'll have to get another tube of On Guard toothpaste now. We have diffusers in pretty much every one of our rooms now. We started with one, and it's just like, okay, now look here. This is my wife's. We're in the van right now. This is the Iris diffuser. We've got this right here with us. And I've got one too. It's just like this. It's a black one. It's more of a bro thing from Enogear, travel diffuser. But we try to just reap the benefits of the oils wherever we're at. You know what I mean? Because there's so many things around us that we don't even think about. You're putting suntan lotion on if it's got harmful chemicals in it. You're putting gels in your hair. It's getting right into your brain that's got chemicals in it. Just the air that we're breathing out here has toxins in it. If you're drinking soda pop, that has toxins in it. If you're whatever food you're eating from McDonald's, I'm sorry if you like McDonald's, but that stuff ain't good for you. But we're trying to combat the toxins. You know, we're trying to change our mind shift. You know, we're trying to change that in our family. So if you come to our house, you're going to use On Guard.
I love everything you're saying. I think that for all the people watching this, Matt, you're doing a great job of demonstrating what men actually think about their health and wellness. Like, I mean, a guy doesn't like a headache just as much as a girl doesn't like a headache, right? Guys don't like back pain just as much as girls don't like back pain.
Exactly.
So, okay, Carla. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No. I can't see the questions, so you just read them.
Okay, Carla says no questions, but thank you so much for helping men to feel more comfortable talking about and using these amazing oils. I have a son, Joey, who loves these oils and tells people about them all the time. Judy says, I cannot understand why there's a block when it comes to guys and oils. It doesn't have to be a block.
Honestly, I can't understand that either. I mean, I can to a certain extent because, like I said, I was skeptical. I saw the price point. You know what, though? I saw a chart where, and I actually have it. I can share it later on my page. But it's got each of the oils and what they cost, and then the amount per drop of oil. And that's the other thing, too. If guys are watching right now, these oils dōTERRA gives us are so pure and potent. You don't have to use the whole bottle on. You don't just dump the bottle. It's 1 drop or 2 drops. You know, unless you're using the lemon oil like I do every day, in my water, I drink, I use one, it's got 250 drops in a 15 ml bottle. I use 1 bottle of lemon, I think, every 3 months. That's helping to detox me, right? That's helping my insides, right? That's not too hard to, you know, one bottle of what is that, $10? And I'm drinking that instead of soda pop. I think that's awesome.
Yeah. You use lemon oil way more than we do. We probably use a bottle every month. But that's just from drinking it. Like, I just like throw it around my kitchen. So
I got it right in there right now. I've been drinking it all morning. It's so refreshing with cold water. I gotta have cold water. I can't just have water that's been sitting in, kind of lukewarm or whatever. But
okay, so last thing, Matt, tilt your head forward. We need to see your hat.
Okay.
You have these available in your in your swag shop on the Brōterra Men Facebook page, right?
The hats are not yet available.
Oh, they're not.
Not the hat yet.
Okay, because I need one of those hats.
The shirts are.
The shirts are. Can you kind of tilt a little bit so we can see the shirt?
Yeah.
Sorry, you're in a car.
I might get you a hat before convention. You might be surprised.
I would not say no to that for sure.
Yeah, you recognize the O. Everybody on here should know what the O is. But I'm in Cincinnati. I love baseball. I love Mr. Red from Mr. Redlegs from the Cincinnati Reds. This mustache is Mr. Redlegs. So I'm not a little bit of my hometown. And that's what I was going to tell too. I don't know if were you wanting to talk about branding at all?
Yeah. Tell us about how you came about your brand. I mean, because I think that what people are really wanting to know is how can dōTERRA feel really authentic to guys? And you've got a super clear brand that I just told Matt before we hopped on the Facebook Live, I said, you have some of the best branding of any Facebook page I've seen in all of dōTERRA. Easily.
I appreciate that. That means a lot to me coming from you. I appreciate that. Again, everybody's branding can be totally different. You don't have to replicate what somebody else is doing. It's more genuine when you're not forcing it, when it's your local brand. Like I said, my mustache here, that's from my local area. It's something that I wanted to incorporate. I shared with this on the before we did this live. I said, if I lived in Houston, I'd have the old Houston Oilers logo. I don't know if anybody's taken that yet, but if you're watching right now and you're in Houston, get the Oilers logo, the old football team that before they moved to Tennessee. Use that. You could be the Houston Oilers. You'll be whatever. Anyways, that's another idea. But yeah, use whatever you want in your local area or what you like. Don't feel like you have to mimic what other people are doing. And like I said, if you're using something you like, you're going to be more proud to share it with people. You know what I mean? If you're stealing somebody else's idea and using it as your own, you're like, man, I hope they don't find out that I used to use that from somebody else. You know what I mean? Not that, and they may not be a big idea, a big deal to somebody, but if you're using something that you know is yours, and you're going to be more proud to show it off. And I'm very proud of what everybody's done on our pages to make us as successful as we are. So.
Well, and don't think, you guys, that if a man's gonna do dōTERRA that he has to come up with a whole brand. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
you've got a really cool talent. I think the point here is just keep it authentic to you. If a guy's gonna do dōTERRA, it's the same as when a girl does dōTERRA. Keep it authentic to you.
Yep.
So
Yeah, that's
well,
another thing too, that I've actually been able to help a lot of the ladies too. They'll private message me on the branding, and I've actually been able to give a couple of people some ideas. One of my cross-line friends I've met, she's a military wife, and I've been able to help her with her branding a little bit. And I said, I thought of the old, you remember the girl that had, in World War II, that was putting the planes together, and she had the red do-rag on her head, but she had like the blue suspenders. I forget what was Rosie the Riveter, I think was her name. And I said, why don't you go with that look? She kind of looked like the girl. I said, use that as your brand. You're in the military, but just use whatever specific to your life. Don't think that it's boring either. I didn't think it would blow up like this, but there's so many people. Branding's the least thing that people should be worried about. The dōTERRA oils are going to sell themselves. They're going to speak for themselves. They're so powerful. And just everything else that dōTERRA gives us is awesome. The healing hands, and it's great.
cool. Well, you are an incredible resource and a huge asset to the company and just the whole community. So thank you for taking the time. I know that you stepped away from your family to be with us for a little bit.
That's fine. Is there any more questions before we go?
Just compliments. Thank you. Matt does have a great passion for dōTERRA. It shows through your great site. Better friend. I'm not sure what that means. So love it. People just, thank you for sharing your thoughts and your ideas. Just a lot of gratitude. I think that your message is loud and clear. So you guys go check out the Brōterra Men page. I posted the link here in the comments. So you can just follow that. Like Matt does awesome stuff. And if you have guys that are a little bit skeptical, sometimes maybe it's better for a guy to hear about spirit fur than from a woman. He's got tons of cool videos, lots of good collaboration on there. So take advantage of those resources because it's there and it's public, and he's been so generous to make that available to everybody.
I would just again, thank you so much for having me on. Thank you to all the men that are already on my page. And, if I could fist bump every one of you guys, I would. I appreciate all the ladies. There you go. I appreciate all you ladies that are jumping over to our page as well and helping the men on your teams. And like I said earlier, I'm not in the business of trying to take anybody from anybody's team. That's not my goal. My goal is to just try to help you support your men on your team using what us men like to use, what can benefit our bodies as well. And like I said, I try to just keep things fun, relevant to the times. Whatever cool movies are coming out, I try to incorporate something in my brain that might have something to do with oils that might be eye-catching. I just try to have a good time with it. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys. And Andrew, I appreciate you too.
Likewise. All right. Thanks everyone for joining us live. Thank you so much to Matt. Go check out his page, Brōterra Men, and we'll see you guys later.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, everyone. Bye, guys.